right, let's hit the field.
It is Tuesday, April 15th, and the Yankees were taking on the Royals in Game 2 of a 3-game set. Max Fried was on the mound, trying to put up an encore performance after a great start against Detroit. My recap, your reactions coming up next. This is Pinstripe Territory.
Just wanted to talk, that's all.
All right. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. Jackie Robinson night across Major League Baseball. Everyone wearing number 42. I think that's one of the coolest nights of the year. Let's hear it for Jackie. I just think that's such a cool tradition to have everybody wear 42 on the field. I also love the powder blue jerseys that the Royals broke out tonight. Ian 1216 says, gonna be Martian Belt tonight. I guess we'll see. We got to wait and see. A lot of people are saying it, but we're going to have to wait. Let's actually first begin with a little apology here for those of you who bet against Michael Wacha. The Nostraderic prediction this morning was that Michael Wacha would get knocked out before the 5th inning was through, because that has happened the last 2 times he's pitched against the Yankees, but he pitched much better tonight. He pitched into the 6th. He went 5 2/3. So unfortunately, that's a miss.
I've never been so wrong in my whole life.
Every now and then, you can sense what the main story on all the sports talk radio and all the podcasts is going to be in real time. And when Jason Dominguez came out of the game tonight, I was like, all right, this is not going to be popular. Kid went 3 for 3. Arguably the best game of his career. Huge bases clearing double to put the Yankees ahead. But the Yankees took him out for defense the very next inning with 3 innings left in the game. Now, Trent Grisham came in and made a nice play in center field. I think Bellinger would have caught that too, but hey, they're clearly trying to manage his confidence. However, his confidence does seem to be growing. We'll talk more about that as the night gets going. Mary Beth says, Martian feeling more and more comfortable on Earth. Finally adjusting to that gravity out there in left field. I think I have, I don't have my gravity button. Oh well, we missed opportunity for a cool sound effect. Anyway, 108-mile-an-hour base hit off the bat of Aaron Judge in the bottom of the 1st inning. He's been hitting a lot of balls very hard the last few days. He's hitting .381 on the season. He's got a .1224 OPS. And I remember thinking in that moment, and I still believe this, it's only a matter of time before he goes on a home run barrage, because it's the launch angle. He's making hard contact. He's smoking the baseball. And did you guys hear about that competition between Jazz Chisholm and Aaron Judge? Jazz came up with this stat. I mean, it's not like some calculus. It's home runs combined with stolen bases, and the total number wins. And Jazz challenged Aaron Judge to see who could do better. Now, I know Jazz wants to go 40-40 this year, and I'm not sure I want Aaron Judge to become a base stealer, but I will take 81 home runs from Aaron Judge if that wins the competition. Max Fried was really strong out of the gate. He had a couple of hiccups, but the curveball was great tonight. He was mixing pitches. He looked great. He was working with Austin Wells tonight. I was interested to find out who's going to be the starting catcher, because last time he worked with Escara and obviously dominated. So I thought, well, maybe they'll take a chance and run Escara back out there. But they left Austin Wells in there, and Max Fried was just fine. He went 6 2/3, gave up 2 runs. We'll highlight him more, but he still got an ERA under 2 on the season. He did fall behind 2-0. Melendez hit a monster home run, 429 feet into the Yankees bullpen. Bobby Witt drilled one off the right center field wall to make it 2-0. And I was thinking at that point, with the way the game was progressing and how quickly it was moving, that I didn't really love the Yankees' chances of coming back to win. But they got it done. Dominguez obviously had a great night at the plate, but what will be forgotten is he made a really nice running catch also to end the top of the 6th inning. You could see his confidence growing every single day, not only in the field, but at the plate. And he was instrumental when the Yankees broke through in the 6th inning. It began with an infield hit from Judge and then walks to both Jazz Chisholm and Anthony Volpe to load the bases. That forced Wacha out of the game, and you felt like, okay, we got a chance now. But it was a tough matchup because you had the lefty Zerpa, whose name, that's a great name, Zerpa, to face off against Austin Wells, who doesn't necessarily scare you against left-handers the way he does against right-handers anyway. But he was obviously nibbling against Wells, didn't want to give him too much to hit because Wells has been swinging the bat well, and he took a 4-pitch walk. And that brought up Jason Dominguez with the bases loaded. And he worked pretty good at bat, and then he ripped one down the left field line, 3-run double into the corner. Third hit of the game. He had a couple of base hits lefty, now hitting .275 with a .793 OPS. And that was just his second hit of the season from the right-hand side of the plate. Last night it was the defense breaking out. Tonight the offense was spectacular. Confidence is growing for the alien. But I got to say, I don't really think that he should have come out of the game for defense. I get that they're trying to maintain his confidence and get him out of there while he's still got a positive feeling as a rookie. To me, that might be just a little bit too conservative. He obviously, his spot came around in the order one more time, and it was Grisham, and Grisham walked. So, you're not going to complain too much, but I just feel like Dominguez has earned the right with his play defensively, especially over the last couple of nights, to stay in the game. And, they're clearly trying to get Grisham more opportunities. Boone said that he did a disservice to Grisham by not playing him enough last year, and they're trying to get him more playing time. And obviously he's hitting the ball well too, so and he's smooth as silk in center field. But I still think Dominguez earned it tonight anyway. Nice job by Luke Weaver tonight. Really nice job by Devin Williams, and the Yankees take game one.
Ball game over. Yankees win. Yankees win.
Yankees had just 6 hits tonight, and 3 of them went to the Martian, who drove in 3 runs. And I don't think that there's any mystery tonight as to who gets the belt, Mr. Jason Dominguez. First belt of the season for the Martian. First of many, we hope, and a possible Rookie of the Year award. And we got a couple of comments here. Sammy Spidrolius says, Devin hitting 95 tonight and great changeup. Ouroboros says, 10-7, not complaining. Yankees still atop the American League East. And Jack says, Jason getting key hits lately, hitting it where it's pitched. Yeah, and from the left side, he looks extremely comfortable. From the right side, his bat path is a little bit, inefficient. But tonight, he gets the big hit. He knocks his own helmet off. Kind of an iconic moment. One that I'm sure he'll never forget. And it goes a long way towards continuing to build that confidence, which is going to grow and grow and grow the more success that he has. And we'll focus a little bit more on Jason in a bit when we do the Statcast stuff. And I want to just talk a little bit about him and his confidence. And I want to find out more about what you guys think of Dominguez so far in the chat. So get those comments in. But first, before we get to that, let's talk a little bit about Max Fried. Really, he could have gotten a belt too. I mean, he pitched tremendous tonight. Obviously, he wasn't as dominating as he was in his previous outing against the Tigers. But I would definitely grade this start as like an A-, maybe a B+. The curveball was really, really good. It's always really, really good. But tonight it was really sharp. He buckled down a few times when he got guys on base. He seems to be mentally okay with stress. Like he buckles down when he's in a tough situation and finds a way to keep that runner from scoring. That's not something you can say about everybody on this staff, obviously, when we've got ERAs like we have on this team. And some players, when they come to New York, especially as a big free agent, you question whether or not they can mentally handle it. And sometimes it begins before the guy even gets there. Like Jeff Weaver, people were questioning that. Could Jeff Weaver really handle New York? Turns out he couldn't. Randy Johnson. Could Randy Johnson deal with the pressure cooker of New York? He practically beats up a cameraman getting off the plane. Carlos Rodon. He was this force with the White Sox and with the Giants whenever we faced him. But, we could tell kind of right away once he got here that he wasn't the perfect fit. And I think that's kind of been the story here, where he has some great starts and he has some tough ones. But Max Fried seems completely unfazed. He is now 3-0 on the season with a 1.88 ERA. I'm going to pull up his numbers on the season. He was 11-10 last year, so off to a strong start in terms of the record. 174 innings last year, 24 so far this year. So we got a long way to go. A lot of Max Fried left in the tank. And more strikeouts than innings pitched, 28 strikeouts in 24 innings and a 1.17 whip. So a really tremendous outing. Good day at the office for Max Fried. 94 pitches, 60 strikeouts, and 12 whiffs for Max. We call that max effort. All right, so let's talk more about the Martian. I want to hear what you guys have to say about this kid. We've been hyping him up for years. And, when he first got here, when he first got to the major leagues, he went on that crazy tear, 4 home runs in his first 7 games. And after all the comparisons to Mantle and, Bo Jackson and Mike Trout, he was doing things that not even those guys were doing. And then he has the torn UCL, and that really cost him a lot of momentum, right? Because it ended his season, and then he didn't get back until late last year, and you already had Verdugo out there in left. And so he was trying to take somebody's job who was on the team. And I just felt like it was, I don't know, an uncomfortable situation to put the kid. Ian says, ack. Anybody who watched Mars Attacks knows what he's talking about. But, I just really, really love that we're seeing that this kid has the gene for quick improvement, right? We've seen him develop in front of our eyes on defense. We're starting to see it come around offensively too. And he's not even really a power hitter. Like, he hit those home runs when he first came up, and everybody remembers spring training when he went absolutely berserk. But I don't think he's going to be a big-time power hitter. I think he's going to hit some home runs. But I think he's going to be more of a baseball player, right? And we'll look more at the Statcast stuff on everybody else in just a minute, but perhaps this is just a good segue to move over to our Statcast Shuffle, and we're going to pull up his numbers. You see that base running, he's in the 90th percentile. He's an elite base runner already in this league. Bat speed, 69th percentile. Very nice. Walking percentage, 64th percentile, well above average. Arm value and sprint speed, well above average. And the range, the last time we looked at this, I remember it distinctly, he was in the 7th percentile. So he was way down there near the bottom. Now he's moving up towards league average. So he is improving. It's 29% in, maybe a week. And I know the small sample size means that numbers can vary greatly. But yesterday, the ball he caught had a 33% chance of getting caught, or 33% catch probability, whatever it is. And look, it's just clear that the kid is putting in the effort. He's putting in the hard work, which is all you can really ask for. Got a few comments here. Alex says he's starting to give up on Volpe. Great fielder, but terrible hitter. Well, he did have a base hit tonight and a stolen base. That's the player we want to see him become. Wayne J says the beard suits Dominguez. I agree. He looks great with the beard. David Lawrence says his power will come. I think he already has power. It's just a matter of just being comfortable and getting into a rhythm. Right now, he's still battling to be on the roster, right? So I still think that he's going to be a great player. Willie Hoops doesn't buy the hype. He says 22-year-old Martian is poor fielding outfielder and weak hitter from the right side. Well, he just had a 3-run double to win the game from the right side. So I'm not going to criticize you because I asked for your responses, but I disagree with the take. James Masucci says Martian deserved the belt tonight. Took Yankees from down 2-1 to up 4-2. The final score later in the game when it mattered. After Wacha had pretty much handled the Yankees lineup. Very clutch. Agreed. Samantha says she's over the Volpe experiment. Maybe we'll take a look at Anthony Volpe on Statcast too, since we've got it open. I think it's worth looking at. So let me just pop him on the screen real quick. I mean, you look at the Statcast numbers, he's in the 72nd percentile in batting run value. Now, I know a lot of that's home runs. Base running value, he's just slightly above league average right now. And fielding run value, he's in the 90th percentile. So still a Statcast darling. Barrel percentage is in the 83rd percentile. Squared up percentage and chase percentage and walk percentage, all elite. Range is elite. But, I mean, people are going to look at the average. That's what we're trained to look at for all these years. 217 average so far, but a 324 on-base percentage, higher than it's ever been in his career. He went from 283 as a rookie, 293 last year, and so far this year, 324. I didn't think he played a bad game tonight. And, I saw a comment today from our guy, Ray Fonseca, who said, are you guys really going to complain about a league average hitter who is elite defensively at shortstop? And I think a lot of people are. I want to see him become the player that he was at the first half of last year. I'm not over the Volpe experiment, and I still don't think it's a experiment. I think he's a good player. I'm over Volpe trying to be a home run hitter. I'm over that. For sure. Max Fried. Take a look at him tonight. Fastball run value in the 96th percentile. The average exit velocity, walk percentage, barrel percentage, hard hit percentage, all well above average. And this man is just phenomenal for the Yankees so far. I'm loving everything about this guy. Great pickup. Just please stay healthy. One thing I don't get about this is how his breaking run value is in the 5th percentile and his off speed is in the 4th percentile. That's got to be a sample size thing because his curveball is elite from what I've seen. I also want to check in on Paul Goldschmidt, who is lighting up Statcast so far. Ex-WOBA, the batting average, expected slugging, squaring the ball up, whiff percentage, strikeout percentage, all well above average so far this season. And look, I mean, the man is playing not like the MVP candidate, but close to it. He's not hitting for the power yet. If the power comes back, watch out because he looks extremely comfortable. And if you look at this man's forearms, he is incredibly strong. I think the power is going to come. He's, as the weather heats up, he's going to get more hanging sliders. The pitching is going to thin out as it always does as guys go down. And I think that the power will be there. He's clearly trying to hit the ball to all fields, which I love. If you look at his spray chart, he's hit a couple of balls right down the line here. And he also hits it right down the left field line, that one home run that went out there and cleared the left center field wall. So he's got power that can reach the deepest part of the ballpark. And when we look at guys and how they age, when Rizzo got to about this age, I'm not even sure how old Rizzo is right now. I don't even know if he's as old as Paul Goldschmidt, but he just declined rapidly. I felt like he was never the same after that concussion. Whereas Goldschmidt, he bounced back from kind of a tough first half last year. Devin Williams, who got the save tonight, really still coming around in the Statcast numbers. I mean, the off-speed run value is ticking up, but everything else still pretty low. But the extension, you can see he really gets a lot of extension in the 99th percentile. So, that's where we're at right now. But let me know how you're feeling about the Yankees so far. Quick word from the guys over at Foul Territory about PXG, and then we'll be back with a couple of voicemails and some comments from the audience.
AJ, it is time for people to get some new clubs, and to do that, they need to go to their local PXG for a fitting, right?
No doubt. I was there today. I've been there before. Last time I was there, they gave me this killer gap wedge. Look at that sweet spot, Scott. It is worn out. That is right in the sweet spot right there. So I went and got new clubs today, new irons. But more importantly, I got this bad boy. I got me a new putter. This is my old putter. It's on order. Yes, that's my putter cover. PXG Mustang putter. Now I'm going to the Allen putter. They talked me into it because I was draining some putts today. Bob, the guy who helped me out, he helped me with my irons. He got them teed up perfectly. But then we went to the putting green. I was draining them putts because that's the most important part of golf.
PXG fittings are fun. Schedule your fitting today. As you can hear from AJ, for a limited time, you could save up to 20% on your entire order. Head over to pxg.com/foul. That's pxg.com/foul to save up to 20% on your entire order. pxg.com/FOUL. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
All right. Okay, so we got a few super chats here. Jared Hood says, The Martian is breaking out. Looks great. Franklin Lopez says, Martian for the win, but should have kept in the game. Hopefully this doesn't hurt his confidence since they keep pulling him out. I think it's going to have the opposite effect. I think he's, leaving the game feeling good, and you get to sit on that before anything goes wrong. That's what the Yankees are trying to do. They're trying to build confidence in this kid. Willie Hoops says Volpe needs to hit for average, poor plate discipline, and still chases outside pitches. You're not wrong. I do want him to be a guy who gets on base more and uses his speed, but the Yankees seem to feel like his biggest benefit to the team is when he's hitting for power, hitting for extra base hits, driving in runs, which I don't think of him as that type of player. But, Dustin Pedroia won an MVP, kind of similar body type, similar style. But he also hit for a high average, and Volpe doesn't do that. So, I love his defense. I love the kid's hustle. I love his baseball IQ. And, the power is encouraging, and the extra base hits are encouraging. But I agree with the people here who want to see more of what we saw tonight, which are the base hits up the middle, the stolen bases. I want him to be a pest. He's a baseball player. We got enough guys who hit for power. Judge's going to hit for power. Bellinger's going to hit for power. Jazz is going to hit home runs. Wells and Dominguez are going to hit home runs. We don't need everybody to be a 30 home run guy. I realize that the data will tell you the team that hits the most home runs typically wins. But that doesn't mean that that's got to be the only way you can win games. You've got to have a diverse set of skills on the ball club. And Volpe has those abilities. He's got the speed. He's got, when he wants to, a level swing, but he's gotten away from it. We saw it last year. I don't know why he got away from it. Okay, a couple calls here. This one from, I'm not sure who it's from, but it's about Max Fried.
I'll tell you what. I love watching Max Fried start.
Me too.
His curveball is absolutely wicked. Now, I don't know if I agree with taking him out there. When your $218 million pitcher says, I got it, I think I might give him his chance. And then the Martian is here. I think he's as advertised. And I know I've been hyping him up since he was 16. And I'm ready to see how he does this year.
Yeah, so Max Fried, like I said, I don't understand how his curveball is rated as below league average. I think that's a sample size thing. And the Martian does definitely appear like he's breaking out. So we just had a comment where somebody said that Jason knocked out his contact lens on that swing, and that's why he was removed. Hit himself in the head with the bat. I've seen that once or twice, but not often. And there's a funny picture of him like running to first base and the helmet's hanging over his face like one of those alien face huggers.
Hey, Derek, this is Caleb from California. Listened to your show for a while. So I saw a report from Sports Illustrated a few weeks ago that predicted the Yankees to land Royce Lewis of the Twins. They said the main prospect that we're going to be giving up would be Oswald Peraza. So as far as Royce Lewis goes, I love Royce Lewis. He's one of the clutchest hitters in the playoffs. He's still only 30 years old. He plays good defense. He hits the ball hard. He hits bombs. Only downside is that he's probably more injury prone than Stanton. But I mean, outside of that, I think I'd be willing to give up Peraza to smaller pitching prospects. I just wanted to hear your thoughts on it.
I think that's a vast underpay, and I don't think that the Twins would do it. Royce Lewis is an elite level hitter. He does get hurt all the time, though, but the man can really, really hit. And you look at the range, he's a good defender. But like you said, just a constant walking embodiment of the injured list. And I don't think that the Yankees would do that. And I definitely don't think you could get him for Peraza. Yeah, you would need to part with way more than Peraza. So, yeah. Booker.
Hi, Derek. This is Booker. The reason why I'm so down on Cashman is because he's had one championship in 24 years, with consistently, during those years, the highest payroll in baseball. And all he has developed is Cano and Judge. That's it.
I think he's done better
Trades
than that.
can't. No, he should have been gone a long time ago.
Well, I'm not going to disagree with you that Cashman should have been gone a long time ago. I think you got to change GMs every once in a while. I just, I think that a fresh look at the organization is valuable once in a while. And, I don't know that the only players he's developed are Cano and Judge. I mean, we've had some other guys come up. I mean, Michael King was somebody they developed. Obviously, Dominguez is somebody they've brought up. Austin Wells and Anthony Volpe. I mean, they've had some young talent come up. Now, Judge is the only MVP that he's developed. And Cano had MVP level seasons, but he also, got suspended for taking steroids, and we don't really know exactly when that happened. So, I get the Cashman unenthusiastic opinions, and I would have probably fired him after the 2004 season, quite honestly. If I were Hank Steinbrenner or Hal Steinbrenner or George Steinbrenner, whoever was calling the shots at that point, I believe it was still George, but you never know. But hey, at least we do have Judge and we do have Dominguez. We got some young talent coming up now. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching. Thanks for calling in. Thanks for all the comments and the super chats, all that good stuff. And I'm going to call it a night, and we will see you tomorrow after the game. Catch you then. Hey, while I've got you here, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Pinstripe Territory is the official Yankees podcast of the Foul Territory Network. We are home to the #1 most watched MLB postgame show on YouTube since 2021. We're here after every Yankees game and for reactions to all the best news and rumors during the offseason. Be a part of the show by calling into the voicemail 718-899-1068. Try to keep it clean for me. And if you ever miss us on YouTube, be sure and subscribe on all your favorite podcast platforms. Go ahead and rate us 5 stars. It'll help other people find the show. Thanks for watching. See ya.